And so this is by far a very genuine program, by somebody who is very compassionate and genuine and very caring in what they do. And they carefully exercised all the different processes to sort of create this step-by-step program, treatment program. It's like planting a seed. Violence is a disease, and let's say you grow up in an upbringing where there is violence. You're around that violence, and okay, so it's building up inside more and more and more, and you don't really get to vent out to anybody. You just kind of hold it in, and you start thinking that this is normal, even though it's abnormal, and it's something that you're going to take on with you, if you don't change that type of behavior in your life. So it's sort of like being infected. Okay, you grew up with it, it was in your environment, now you're infected, but you do have that decision to not, bring it on to the next environment that you choose to create and develop.
The first day of training was awesome in the sense of opening our minds to being aware of these commandments of violence and reading the kids. So it's taking us step by step to realize what to look out for.
Quite honestly, I didn't really know what I was going to get out of this. The first day I was just thinking, this is just a training session. I had no idea that it was going to be, that it was going to dive deep into violence, within our communities, and how it distinguishes an individual from, let's say, somebody who is more privileged. So looking at those factors and really just sort of, I guess really thinking outside the box and really like a sort of self-reflection. And I feel like I'm gaining a lot out of this.
I mean, there was a lot of things that stuck out to me. It was just a whole, I'm still processing some of the stuff. Like with the essay that we're gonna have today, that stuck out to me because I'm gonna have to write about my past and what I went through. And I feel that in order for me to deal with these kids is I have to overcome what I'm going through.
I mean, he's telling me, the basics, like I gotta live by example.
We were told to reflect on our past lives. And so to me, that was very personal because in my past, I had a lot of stuff going on when I was growing up. I did grow up around a lot of violence. And so to be able to participate in a class where the subject is violence, to me, that's like therapeutic.
One thing that I like is the coachisms. That's what I needed to hear today, because some of my kids, they show love all the time or whatever, but when they go home, we're not worried. And I'm actually about to go find some of the coachisms and pass it out to my kids and be like, hey, put this, wherever you sleep at, put it right there on the wall, so every time you get up, you can see that, and it'll remind you every day, we're trying to go a better way and live a better life for our own.
You have choices to make a difference and make changes and sort of prevent that seed from spreading. That I'd call it a devilish function actually, but it is a disease. And so it continues to happen. And so what I would explain is it's just like with addiction or anything, it's a disease. You need help and you need to stop it, and it just keeps getting passed down and it affects people.